If you don't fully recognize and address twin flame obsession for what it really is, it will negatively affect your life on every level, and the behavior patterns that you have developed will continue throughout your life. This will block you from living your life to its fullest. It can block you from the appropriate career choices, relationships, friendships, because you are lacking at that point in solid, functional skills of not only how to communicate, but how to live. Before I get into it, I'm Cynthia Greer, spiritualist who works at the in-depth level of the soul, covering all aspects of spirituality, because everything is synergistic. All paths lead into the next. If you are dysfunctional in one, you are going to be dysfunctional in the others. I've written the books Twin Flames, Beyond the Veil of Illusion, and Twin Flames, Healing the Shattered Heart when union isn't possible. And my goal is to help you really attain that path of soul evolution and make that connection to the God force and fully come into your higher self. If you find what I do helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Those buttons are very important, as I am completely self-funded. Okay, so what is the main signal that is going to give you a red flag that you are really falling into delusion about your twin flame connection? And the biggest one that I see is when people believe, because they are a part of a divine connection, that they have the power to change the path of their twin flame, even though their twin flame is not interested in having a connection with them, or maybe is completely unaware of the connection to begin with. But there is such a burning desire for physical union that the belief is, if other people or situations would just get out of the way, that physical union would automatically happen. Or if they would accept the path of divine unconditional love, that would just miraculously melt everything away, and their twin would naturally gravitate back to them. Now, a lot of delusion and comes from seeking answers through hallucinogenic properties such as ayahuasca, magic mushrooms, or even pot, which is not considered hallucinogenic. But people with addictive tendencies will come to me that have used any one of these properties, and they will swear by the importance of these substances and how great their visions are, and they're having these big awakenings. Yet, I'm seeing it completely different. I'm seeing a very scattered, unbalanced, troubled individual who has been on nothing more than a trip. And it always goes back to the same scenario being played over and over again, is how bad they are being treated, how indifferent their twin is to their emotionally and mentally abusive behavior that they're dishing out, and how they want to get to the bottom of it. And this becomes the big obsession. It fills every waking moment and hour of their day, and everything else begins to go down. And they believe that if a partner, a social circle, a family situation, or a serious, horrific addiction would just dissolve, and that they somehow have this spiritual ability to do it, that this union is going to come to pass, and they're going to do great things together. When in reality, everything is falling down around their ears. Because when you are in that state of mind, that is your entire consciousness. It has nothing to do with the trust and the faith in God that there is a higher plan that is designed from the other side through this separation, because neither one of you are ready for a physical union in this lifetime, in this time and space. So what is the lesson? The lesson is that you have a divine heart and soul, and a divine purpose on this earth. But you have to be open to counsel, open to guidance, in order to truly step onto that path. And in order to do so, it's going to take wisdom and discernment. And wisdom and discernment, true wisdom and discernment, can only come when you have made the choice to live a functional life, when you have made the choice to come out of all fantasy, all delusion. And you clearly see an environment that you are in, personal relationships that you are in, employment, whatever the case may be, truly for what it is. And though you are not where you want to be, you know that there is better. You know that you can do better. And you want to aspire to that. This is what it's all about. It's about connecting at that heart and soul level. Building such a strong faith and such a strong belief that there is a power that is so much greater than you yourself as a single human being, that you connect at that heart and soul level by surrendering this desire and this need to control this situation and force a twin flame to come to you who does not understand what the connection is all about. That is where the real power is. It is in your growth as a soul. And when you choose to take that path and you choose to come into that alignment with the Creator, you develop a love that is far beyond anything you could ever imagine on a physical level. That is where your wholeness comes into full existence. It is the most powerful state of being that you will ever experience on this earth. Now, this is where people get sidetracked, because when they realize they can't have the twin flame union in the physical, many have a tendency to go the route of self-care and self-development to the point they become an overachiever. And money becomes more important. Finances become more important. And I have seen many take that route and become very hateful because they get trapped in a career due to a lifestyle that they have created that they can't get out of because of the financial obligations. And this forces women into the masculine side. They become very aggressive, very hateful, very demanding, and very condescending. It becomes a vicious cycle. And ultimately, it leads to bitterness because they don't believe that anyone is out there for them. They don't believe that God would provide another partner for them. And when we fall as humans into that state of consciousness, we automatically cut ourselves off from divine blessings because we don't have the capacity to recognize them when they manifest before our eyes. So it's very important to step back, press the reset button on your life. Do what it takes to heal on a genuine level. Even if it means from going off the grid social media-wise for a while and going into deep prayer and contemplation, which I believe is even more important than deep meditation when you have fallen into obsession. Because you want to be gentle with yourself and you want to understand that the environment that has been created through the obsession is not one of groundedness. It is not one of calmness. It is not one that is godly, because it can't be when you are in obsession. Those are the demonic energies. They're the earthbound energies. And this is what you want to come out of. The other thing I'm going to leave you with is that when many people feel that they have begun their spiritual path, they no longer want to interact with 3D. 3D is the big thing. They want to hermitize. They don't want to work what is considered a normal job, interact with normal people. But I'm going to tell you this, is that if you take that route, you are missing the entire point of what it takes to develop at a soul level on this earth. Because there are incredible souls that are in the 3D working world that have the beliefs in the higher powers. They're seeing visions. They're having dreams. They're getting communication from the angels and their spirit teachers. And they are open to connecting with light minds. So when you close down to that level, you're basically cutting your nose off to spite your face. And it will backfire on you. And at some point, you'll be sitting in a life review, and you will be shown the opportunities that you had that you didn't take because the obsession that you were in had led you in to fanatical thinking and caused you to separate. And in doing so, you didn't realize the true journey that you were to have taken in this life. And I will leave you with this in love and blessing and healing at the level of the heart and soul. Bye for now.